Manthan Patel, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
I'm really excited. There's a lot that we're going to dig into today in terms of AI content creation, in terms of lead gen, in terms of creating courses, in terms of educating other people, in terms of growing on LinkedIn. It's a credit to how much you've done so many things. But firstly, I want to bring things back to something I noticed across a lot of your different offerings and web pages. And I want
Mhm.
you to expand and tell me about this. Altruism, self improvement, openness. What do those mean to you?
100%. So these are like my core principles where I started my journey. I want to make sure that I don't provide any fluff or any hype to this market because there are already so many AI hype in the market, for example, on LinkedIn, on Instagram. So that's where my self-openness, altruism, I speak what I know about. I don't hype things up. And I just want to be really clear on what's the possibility for other people. And it's not that really hard because the thing is, like, I work with a lot of SDRs and BDRs, and they are very afraid of AI because they don't even touch anything. But it's the main fear they have is they think they need technical experience. But I don't think that's true anymore. Like, you can use AI even if you are coming from non-technical background. But yeah, those three
And
words are my like self openness. So I share everything on my courses. So the funnel we are running, the VSL script that we are using, I'm just sharing everything. And all of my learners and students are also implementing, making money, having a really good life. So that's my core first principles.
awesome. There's not many people that are so open and public about their principles, but I love that you put them kind of across your website and across your offering so people know what you stand for. Um, Before we get into kind of what you're doing now, I would love if you could kind of take me back to when you first heard about AI. Like, what were your first experiences playing around with AI technologies? Tell me about that.
100%. So it all started like 1.5 years ago. So I'm coming from computer science and engineering. So I am into this game, like, but it was not AI, it was like full stack developer. I was coding all day and night, solving lead code problems. But then I started working at YC companies, helping with their distribution, and there I saw the true potential. Like, these guys are like really smart, all the Y Combinator. And if you guys don't know what is YC or Y Combinator, it is the largest incubator in the world where they help small startups to fund their visions and dreams to convert it into big corporation. One of the famous example is Stripe, Airbnb, and multiple of others. So when I was working at those YC companies, I genuinely saw the true potential of AI and how these companies are using these agentic workflows and machine learning models to create the next big thing that we are all using right now. So yeah, my first like kind of contract was with Vector Shift AI. So they are like AI agent platform. It was like 2 years ago when AI agent was not even a word or a thing, and they were like building those things like, and that's where I realized the true potential. And I was totally mind blown away. Like, you can automate the entire end-to-end process for even if you're coming from, let's say, SDR or sale or marketing. I know for technical people, it is so easy to catch up with this new advancement. Like, the developer will use Cursor, will use Lovable a lot much faster than non-technical people can do. But I clearly see the gap, like how we can use AI into this lead generation or marketing side of things. Because like, whenever we are on the customer calls with we just promoting our product, for example vector shift AI, we will be able to, we were able to see that it is going to save time, save money, or make money. These are the four biggest levers. I think if it is solving any of these levers into a business, you should definitely use AI.
Wow. Talk me through Vector Shift and working with them. How did you come into contact with them? What exactly were you doing with them? Tell me about your job. And also, something I'd love to notice is like, what did you notice about culture? What did it feel like? What was the attitude? How fast did people move? Tell me everything.
100%. So it like, quite frankly, it was not a job. It was like, so I used to create courses around this AI chatbot thing like 2 years ago when it was like picking up, and ChatGPT custom GPTs were just like released. So I created a course on that, and one of the YC founders Vectorshift founder Albert Moore. So he just contacted me like a cold DM. He said, Manthan, we would love to create a course about our product Vectorshift AI. And at that moment I thought like it was not kind of a big deal because I was getting so many DMs like that. But the thing about Albert, the founder of Vectorshift, was he believed in this philosophy of move fast and break things, the big famous Facebook quote, right? So whenever he contacted me, we get on a call, and we both like instantly get our energy like synchronized, and we started working on vector shift. So my primary goal was at that moment to create a course on vector shift that shows how they can use product or how they can use AI into their workflows, as simple as starting from chatbots to end-to-end workflows that they can use. So my job was to create lectures or create actual workflows in all the different domains. For example, HR, marketing, content creation, automation, literally everything. And that's where we were helping them together. Plus, sometimes if they need someone from their team is busy to get on a call with the client, sometimes I do. And the thing, like I genuinely believe I wouldn't be in this place if I haven't like responded to that cold DM by Albert, because Albert is my biggest mentor, and he is the one that made me. The culture was like tremendous. So we were on a call, and the Vectorship website was down. It was not working that well on my end because of application client side error. It was like around 11 p.m. and in New York time zone it was like I don't know, but it was pretty dark, pretty midnight. I sent a message to Albert. He got on a call. He said, we need to fix this really quickly. He called two of his engineers, like main engineers, and within matter of 5 minutes, that issue was resolved. So I believe that's where the exceptionals, like extraordinary players are. You can see that's why they are VC-backed companies. And because I have worked with other companies, and their engineers will say, hey, like I only work from 9 to 5. I will check this thing on Monday. Or even if you're, let's say, calling some customer care, and they will say, this is not my job. And so we will say, can you write this down for me? And they will say, I don't have a pencil or pen. So yeah, you can see the difference. So the founder is helping here, like at the first position within just matter of minutes versus some simple brand or normal company. And that's where like they scale so
Hmm.
fast.
It sounds like you were very much probably like Albert as well, in that you're working a lot as well. You have a lot of initiative, and he instilled this attitude in you of move fast and break shit, basically. What else did you learn from Albert in terms of starting a company, in terms of finding new leads, in terms of working with other people? What else did he teach you?
Yeah, like we used to get on a call on weekly basis to just discuss about like how we can position vector shift into the market, because there were other big players at the time, like example voice flow and WordPress. So they were or
Hmm.
Stack AI, again a VC-backed company. The thing Albert told me is just start, like don't wait for things to happen. Like the thing I asked him at that time, because I didn't had anything to do. I was just a course creator or just creating like long form educational content. And I asked him like, hey, this is my vision. I want to be present on every other platform. I just want to be start doing like start with my own agency, for example, for marketing and AI. And he told me, just don't like wait for things to happen or fall into place. Just start. It is not going to get any easier. I still have that video call recording from Zoom, and I sometimes like hear this, and I was like, without Albert, I wouldn't be into this place. So yeah, you were right. I'm like kind of a mirror replica of Albert. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And from what I understand, this is like the first time you actually went to create courses was with Albert for Vector Shift. Is that correct?
Yeah, before I used to create YouTube videos on their competitor, which is like Stack AI and VoiceFlow. And Albert saw one of my videos, and he mentioned, "Can we create a course around that, like you did for our competitors?" But yeah, so that's where we get into intro, and that's the hell of a ride.
It's just good business. He sees you making videos for competitor, and he sees like you got to get on my team immediately. It's a smart man right there. Um, from there,
100%.
I can see that like a big part of your business, or at least a big part of your public persona, is that you offer a lot of public courses at different price points for like different things, from video generation to lead generation, stuff like that. Tell me about your process of developing courses over time. What do you choose? What do you pick? How do you pick? And what course to develop? How do you deliver the material? How has that changed over time?
Yeah, when I used to first work with Albert, it was like they were the one that was they were giving me the workflows and creating how should I approach with the course. But like moving forward, I am the one. I choose what to create, what topic to include in the course, and literally everything. So if you are a content creator, just make sure that you are creating your own courses with the voice that you have, and because you know your audience much better than the brand do, right? So the course delivery is like they will just tell me, hey, we are the company and this is the business problem we solve. But I need to make sure that are they in a like a Venn diagram with my audience, with my content. And because a lot of companies are reaching out, hey, can you create a course on me? But I have to make sure that the product is, first of all, I need to first on hand try that product. Are they really good on what they claim on the landing page? Because people can create a lot of good landing page, but that core philosophy and fundamental product is not working great. So I the first week is I just genuinely test the product. I see some of their reviews and like on Trustpilot and on G2, and if the product is really good, the product is really fitting with my audience, then I will start creating courses. And it's just like end-to-end delivery. I start with the why, on why you need this thing right now. So the thing is, we are following this strategy by Russell Brunson on his book Lynchpin. Lynchpin. So he mentioned that don't create a course about a software, create a course about a problem and include the software as a solution. So people will eventually use their product without feeling that salesy vibes or brand collaboration, sorry, ad vibes. So yeah, that's where our core philosophy is. I'm not promoting the product first time. I believe like so next we were working with Retail AI. It is one of the biggest AI voice platform like Wapi and Retail AI. Yeah, so yeah, so because there was a clear gap in AI voice agents in the market at that moment, like a year ago, and I believe like the product is good, the market area, and people wanted to invest in this technology, and that's where we started doing this, doing the course for Retail AI. This is an again YC company. It was a referral of Albert. So again, it's all credits to Albert. Then we used to work with Persona AI. It is a competitor of Clay.com. So all of the salespeople will understand like because there were Clay is right now in a monopoly in this. Creating those workflows for marketing and pipeline. And yeah, because I didn't know anything about marketing at that moment. See, I'm coming from computer science background engineer. I don't know what is like what was the full form of SDR or BDR. But within just 2 months we learned marketing stuff and how we can incorporate our AI pipelines or AI workflows into the marketing flows. And that's where Albert Albert was a very good friends with Persona AI founders, and that's where we got into the introduction. We create a course on Persona AI, and that was like really helpful for all the salespeople because they don't know how to do enrichment. Like basically, what are the core principle? What are the different data points that they can enrich on, and how they can contact with their ICP or with their cold clients just by simple outreach system.
I have one more question on courses,
Yeah.
and then I want to touch on what you mentioned there with the idea of the Venn diagram and who your audience actually is. But in terms of your courses, my last question for you here is this. What do you think is the best course you've ever made? What do you think is the worst course you've ever made? And what do you think the difference between them is?
Yeah, that's a lovely question. So my best course right now is N10 course. Uh, so I have poured my heart like so we are working on 24 hours a day. My team, all the I have hired some of the best video editors in the world just to make sure that we are delivering on that like the performance we are capable right now. So uh, my latest course, which is of N10 course, it is the one of my best. So it's a maybe only a mother can love. Quite frankly, I really love that course because because to be honest, anytime is kind of technical thing. It's not for everyone. So we want to first of all make sure that we explain why they need Anytime and how they can use Anytime even if they are coming from non-technical background, and then covering every single departments or every single areas of a brand or company. For example, HR, automation, marketing stuff, sales stuff, literally covering every workflows from different departments. And comparing with my like worst course, again the worst course, I wouldn't say it's worse, but when I was starting with my first course, it was a chatbot course by using WordPress. I didn't had that firm belief on how to even speak, how to set up a camera. I didn't know the lighting structure. I didn't had any studio, something like that. The thing was the delivery was not that good. And comparing my first course, the that was obviously the first course. And I won't say like uh, whenever you're doing something for the first time, it is eventually going to suck. For example, if you're doing your first podcast, things might not be at like those perfectionist, but I think just start away, you will eventually learn. You will get the feedback from your audience, from your students, because I was getting like instant feedback when I just published my first course. Hey Manthan, the content or the topic is really good, but you can improve on the delivery, on the like performance, on the audio quality, on the video quality, and on the edits. And that's where we are improving, just taking the feedback from our students, just taking like genuine review. And that has been really helpful, like where they are struggling, which lectures we can add more so that they can understand, or where we can break down quite complex stuff, uh, quite complex things into like a reasonable approach.
I love it. And I think I had very similar advice given to me as well. It's like your first thing is going to suck.
Ye-
And everything that I've ever done, the first iteration of it has sucked and it will suck. And it, like, to be honest, it doesn't really matter. As you said,
ye-
action is the thing that's most paramount. As long as you get started, every single iteration that you make, you improve on a little bit of the production quality here, your delivery there, your sales mechanism there, the tools that you're using, the angle that you're using, just like one step every time. And it leads to something incredible. So I'm glad to see that that piece of advice is kind of like is reflected amongst entrepreneurs, and it's something that we share in common there. Um, as I mentioned, as you've mentioned, something we kind of discussed before this is your audience and your growth. And before we get into the insane numbers that you're reaching right now, tell me a little bit about who your audience is, who watches you, who enjoys your content.
yeah, people coming from who are just beginner on AI, plus who are more sort of in AI ML field. So a lot of my audience, first of all, we develop from marketing and AI side, like lead generation, then people who actually wanted to know how things work at the back end, like what is the architecture, what is the agentic workflows, because people, I know there is the market right now is very hyped up about AI. Everyone is every LinkedIn post is like this model will change everything, right? Yeah, but the thing is like people don't know how things actually work at the back end, like what are the architecture, what are the orchestration that you can do, multi-level workflows. So I try to distill those architectures in my post, and people love those by using animations and a simple carousel post. Apart from that, like uh, I believe like there is a clear gap in AI and marketing, because AI is like, as I mentioned, AI architecture. So those are for AI nerds, right? They will love that concept. But marketers or salespeople will like don't even understand, and they don't even care, and they shouldn't, because it's not their domain. So I believe like combining AI with marketing or lead generation is a sweet spot where not many people are tapping on right now, and that's where my audience is located at, or that's where we are going right now. As in, that's why like lead gen man, as in lead gen Manthan, using both AI stuff and lead generation content. Yeah, so I believe those two are my audience segment, AI and marketing, or if you want to focus down lead generation or outreach systems.
Yeah, let's talk about this. I want to come back to the audience because I think the your growth in all of the platforms has been incredible. And we had a little discussion beforehand about
Yeah.
how you guys do this. But Talk to me about lead generation. So what was your kind of first experiences with lead generation? How has that changed over time? What does lead generation look like in August of 2025?
100%. So, like, as I mentioned, like 1 year ago, people have to build the lead list on their own, like filtering out the prospect, the ICP. But now coming back to the or let's but now coming to August 2025, they just have to simply enter natural language and the lead list is been built. This is what we are calling prospecting. So prospecting is just like using natural language to build your lead list or build the lead list of your prospect. To give you a simple example, we have our Claude, which is an LLM application. We are using Lucia. Lucia is the biggest data provider for phone numbers. We are connecting our Claude with Lucia's MCP server. I will just type in, hey, give me 50 lead list of HubSpot's executives with this like department and everything. And it will build me the lead list, find me the email address, verified email address, phone numbers, the department, their title, their name, literally their LinkedIn profile, literally every data point that I can like use in outreach. So I believe like we are all moving on to this prospecting kind of world in lead generation, where you will just simply type in what you want and you have your lead list built out. Those are verified email addresses, verified phone numbers, so you don't have to worry about them. And then comes to the part of making sure that those are your ICP or ideal customer profile. Like they are meeting with your criteria of your brand or B2B agency you have. Yeah.
With that, you're describing a pretty ideal workflow where I can speak in natural language to an AI agent of some sort, and then boom, 50 emails appears for me just now. And I'm finding it hard to imagine a world that's much better than that. If I want to reach the clients I want to reach, that sounds perfect. So I guess in your opinion, what is still to be improved? What do you think the next level of this looks like?
100%. So right now, whenever we are working with clients from our lead generation agency, we are always recommending them to have a human in the loop or human oversight whenever we are running our AI workflows for that lead generation. But I think as the model gets better and better over time, uh, we are actually going into the phase of autonomous agents where they will do everything and we won't need a human oversight or human in the loop workflows. So talking about right now, we are working with clients and we are automating all of the four major steps in lead generation. The first step is building the lead list, right? Finding out the ICP clients. Second is making sure that they are qualified. Third is writing hyper personalized cold outreach messages to them. And fourth step is adding them to our cold outreach campaign. So all of these four steps right now is totally automated. They just have to enter their target location and their niche, and our AI workflows will build our entire lead list, make sure that those prospects are qualified, write hyper personalized email copies, for example cold email or cold outreach follow-up sequence or LinkedIn automation, and we'll add those lead list plus our copies to our cold outreach campaign, for example cold email campaigns or LinkedIn campaigns. But we do have to keep a human in the loop or human oversight to make sure that sometimes the lead lists are getting repeated. The same people are finding out, the same people are just repeating a lot of things here and there. Sometimes the workflow might broke, so your entire pipeline is now paused. So but I believe like as the workflows and as the tools that as the tools like Anyten and make.com are being able to build right now, we will have much more tools. We will have much better models and tools that we can use so that all of this thing will be autonomous and you don't have to worry about anything.
Talk to me about step 3 and 4. I know that you mentioned email and you mentioned LinkedIn is called outbound
Yeah.
campaigns. What is the percentage split? How do they work together? Do you use other channels? Like, what have you seen to be the most effective when it comes to cold outreach?
Right now, it is a LinkedIn cold outreach automation is crushing the market. It's like really good, but the only limitation we are seeing is LinkedIn is getting more stricter with these automation platforms. So I wouldn't recommend you using your LinkedIn profile for this automation. Use one of your sales member because the chances of getting your account restricted or suspended is much higher if you're using automation. For cold email, I believe like the market is moving a little down. That's what we are seeing right now, because as the Google servers are getting smarter and smarter, they are just blacklisting our entire domains, and all of the mailboxes inside those domains are getting blacklisted as well. Yeah, talking about the other channels, we are not doing it right now for our clients, but AI voice agents are crushing that as well. So if you have if you are doing outreach campaigns or cold outbound, so instead of manually cold calling them, feel free to use AI voice agent platforms like Retail AI, Vapi AI to automate their process. A lot of things, like for example, even if you can use SMS or iMessages sequences, that work pretty well as well.
Interesting. Yeah, I think we're seeing the same as well. It's a product of the technology and where it's at, where everyone has access to, if they
Mm,
want to, some degree of cold outreach, right? So I can see in the past year that the amount of emails that I get in my inbox that follow that templated structure of,
yeah,
hey, X, you're in industry Y, you do thing Z, and we've
yeah,
done result F for client B before. Could we do X, Y, and Z for you? Book a call here. Like, I
same,
can
same.
recognize it like that at that point, right? And I think everyone can. Everyone that's in any degree of B2B stuff, like you see that email now, you get it. So I think the systems have to get smarter. We have to get more original with how we do outreach.
Mm,
And yeah, there's something to be said there. Like traditional business and B2B deals has been done through personal connections, right? So as much as people love using AI agents, at the end of the day, if you're closing a high ticket sale,
mm,
most people want to speak to another human. And I don't think
yeah.
that's going to change anytime soon. You're very deep in the weeds and that you're using a lot of AI agents. You're imagining this future with agentic workflows. But in your opinion, do you think when it comes to like a large sale or something high ticket that it always has to be human to human? Or do you reckon we'll see a future where AI agents can close a high ticket sale too?
Yeah. See, like I love using AI stuff, but I genuinely believe at the end of the day, I just want to talk with a human that understand my business. Yeah, I believe that's the case. But I think a lot of these companies are having those, hey, book a demo call with me. We will be with you forever. Sorry, we will be with you with your entire sales process. We also have our AI agents, but hey, I know you want to reach out to us, and that's why like we are. So to give you an example, anybees.io, which is an entire AI SDR sales platform, but you will see on the landing page, hey, book a call with me. It's a human and not an AI agent. So you can see the cliche, or you can see the humor here. People genuinely want to talk with the other person, where they can actually understand the emotion, the reason why they are coming, or they need help with them. Yeah, I believe at the end of the day, as we are moving into more this AI generations, sorry, AI content creation and all of these agentic workflows, people will eventually fall back to human thing, because they
Yeah.
can understand, they can feel like on that pretty much level. Because like, see, you and me are talking right now pretty great, and we both understand what we want, but I don't believe that will be the case with AI agent. They can build the lead list, they can qualify the prospect, but they don't emotionally understand the other human or what they are looking for.
Yeah, it's interesting the when you speak to a general layman, so a cousin, a friend, someone on the street that doesn't really understand AI, they have this perception that AI is going to take all of the jobs and there's going to be nothing left and no one wants to work with humans anymore and it's all just going to be agent and AI to AI. And then the more someone's actually involved in the AI industry or involved in
Hmm.
technology or builds in this space, those are always the people that believe that
Yeah.
there's like a pretty clear line where like AI is going to come up to, and then people want to kind of move back into actually connecting with humans. And hopefully this is what the technology gives us the ability to do, right? Is automate all the things that we don't want to do. Because I've made fucking client lists before, and I don't want to sit there for 4 hours and scrape people's emails and find their
Yeah.
phone numbers and enrich things so that I can outreach. No. What I want to do is get on a call and speak to someone and say, oh, did you see that baseball game last week? I've traveled to your country. Like, I had this food for dinner last night. Like, that's what I want to do. I don't want to be filling in an Excel sheet. And I don't think anyone does, right?
Yeah, 100%. We just want to automate stuff that are just pure labor work, and we want to work on our creativity. creativity can be totally up to you. Like wherever your heart says, do that thing. Just automate the
Yeah.
repetitive task.
Yeah, I mean, when I think about what makes me happy, it's conversations like this. It's being on
100%.
sales calls, it's collaborating, it's using natural language. So the more and more I can free up my time to do these things by
Yeah,
using AI to automate things, the better.
100% I agree.
I have one last question on this. In terms of the clients that you work with, what types of companies do you work with most often? Have you seen any specific type of company be most successful with your methodology? Who do you see the most often? What country? What industry? Tell me more about the demographics and the psychographics of what works.
100%. So right now we are working with just SMBs or small to medium sized businesses, and we are only working with US clients. So I don't have any other insights from European market or Australian market. But those are for retainers. They are not leaving us once we have our end-to-end system implemented in their business. For example, talking about a vending machine owner, so they are a vending machine seller. The average cost size, average deal size is $25,000. So we are using AI voice agent to cold call to all the local business owners, and even if we are able to close at least 4 clients for them, like they made $100,000. Yeah, and there you go. And we can scale this number a lot higher. Same goes for our cold outreach system or our linear automation system. I believe people who need help with lead generation are, and we are able to help them a lot better, a lot faster, and retain them a lot longer than just one time off thing. For example, hey, can you build me a LinkedIn content machine or a repurposing machine, matlab, sorry, or repurposing content across different formats. So those are like one time thing. We build the workflow for them, then it's over. But for lead generation, we are constantly working with our 3 months old clients, and I don't think they are going to leave us any soon as well.
You mentioned vending machines,
Yeah.
and you mentioned that it's SMBs specifically inside the US. Is there any other industries that give me some more examples of
Uh,
companies you've worked with? Are they all physical businesses or some of them SaaS businesses? Talk me through that.
Yeah, like we have worked with a lot of varieties of clients. So these are like actual physical product vending machine. Another example is insurance company. So I won't say the name because of due to contracts, but those that insurance company, every single month they have a new deal. For example, a new mortgage deal or a new credit card system. So we are using our AI voice agent to cold call all of the new clients as well as to do reactivation campaign for the existing clients. So they were using newsletters, but they were not able to see open rates and conversion rates. That's why like reactivation campaign actually by cold calling their existing customers have been a lot better. For SaaS, it is working great. So for SaaS, we are using a lot of founder-led content. The founder, we are just automating their LinkedIn with the founder-led content, and we are trying to grow the entire company not only in outreach but also in inbound. So outreach is outbound system, right? So we are relying on cold leads, but we want to make sure that we have again a Venn diagram where both inbound and outbound leads are like coming in every single day. Otherwise you are going to really have a hard time if you are just scaling your outbound campaigns without having a social presence on social medias. For example, the founders, the founding engineers or team members.
Yeah, yeah. Talk
Yeah.
to me more about social presence. Talk to me about everything that you've built so far. I mean, we got to cover this first of all. 100,000, over 100,000 followers in what was a space of 6 to 8 months on LinkedIn. Talk me through that.
Yeah. So thank you. Like I genuinely want to say thanks to my mentor, and my mentor is Divyanshi. She's also my very good friend. So she get me started on LinkedIn on January 2025. I was having like 0 followers and yeah, like a pretty LinkedIn dead account. And then she taught me how to actually create content that people are asking for, how to do lead magnets to getting leads in exchange of comments and everything. and then it's been hell of a ride. We are the the core philosophy, I believe, is doing sheer volume on social media platform when you are starting out, because it's so hard to understand the platform nature. If you compare on LinkedIn versus on Instagram, both of these platforms are very different with very different content format. I'm talking the same thing, AI and lead generation, but on LinkedIn it's like carousel post, animation post. On Instagram it's like short form content or high dopamine reels. So you need to understand the platform first, what type of content it is working great, and then just sheer volume on that. Like if you're doing one post, try to do 2 or 3 posts per day, and you will eventually find what your audience is seeking for, what are the top trending topics that are working well for your profile, and then just double down on that thing. Once I'm able to find out that hey, people are liking my AI agent animation, I will create 3 different animation for rest of the week, and all of these 3 different posts will again get virality because it is already proven before, and it is going to work in the future as well. It's just human psychology. So if you understand the human psychology at the core level, like what people are actually seeking for, and because it is so easy nowadays to create LinkedIn post with AI, with all of the chat GPT smell, people hate those type of posts, and that's where you can easily kind of stand out from the crowd, and you can grow so fast. Again, do sheer volume on LinkedIn, and I believe like you will be able to understand the pattern, the repeating pattern of which content is performing the best, what your audience is asking for. Otherwise, if you're doing just one post per day, you won't be able to get the feedback from your audience, like are they liking it or not. if you are able to cover if you're able to cover 3 different topics, like changing something here and there in your post, in your format, or in the topic that you're going for, you will understand which is the winning topic. Once you find the winning topic, just double down on that again and again. And that's where my growth is. So for first 3 months I was able to get around like 20,000 followers. Yeah. And for the rest of 3 months, it's like 80,000 followers. The reason why is I understood like what my first 20,000 following were looking for. And I just created the same content again and again with a different experience, adding my own unique value and knowledge. And yeah, I'm very grateful to my audience.
What have you learned about human psychology as a result of so much A/B testing? Tell me
Uh,
about that.
yeah, people actually, uh, the hook is all that matters nowadays. I don't know, because we are living in short dopamine world or ADHD world. The hook matters really. Like, are we able to solve the problem in just 3 to 5 seconds with the specific? We have to be specific here. It's not like, hey, use AI to get lead generation help. No one is going to read that post. We have to make sure that we specify, hey, this is the thing that we use to save this much amount of time or make this much amount of money in X amount of days. So I believe like having a clear vision, clear understanding of your content, and just delivering it in the first 2 lines will make sure that the people on the other side reading that will be able to understand, hey, this is the problem that this post solves, and if I have this problem, I will just read through it. So again, the human psychology, a lot of things are here there, because you have to do a lot of giveaways as well, because everyone loves free stuff, right? So whenever we are having, let's say, the reason I create this long form content is I can just give it out for free to my audience in exchange of their email, or in my landing page, or to just give or provide like goodwill to the audience. Yeah.
I mean, an amazing approach to it. I think it goes back to kind of what you mentioned at the start in terms of your core values
Yeah.
with the openness, right? It's like, I think if you're able to give out that content for free and feel good about it, good karma always comes around. And I have noticed that the more that you kind of freely give to people, the more that kind of feeds back in and opportunities and stuff come back to you, which is amazing. I'm
100%.
I'm so curious about you because you get so many different things going on. You've worked with YC companies, you've got the lead gen company, I think you've got another company,
Yeah.
you're an educator, you have all of these social media accounts. talk to me about you personally. How do you break down your day? How much time do you spend learning? How much time do you spend listening? How much time do you spend building? How much time do you spend working with your team? Like, break down a day in the life of Manthan.
100%. So my first waking hour, like I wake up around 11 p.m. or 12 a.m. Yeah, I'm a psychopath. I work at night. Yeah. And then I just I will make sure that I will get my long form recording done, or the content that we are going to publish on our LinkedIn, like those giveaways. And at night I will just work like to 7 a.m., just shooting the content, like either it could be short form content, getting on the sales calls because we are working with different time zones, and shooting my long form content. Then I head towards to gym for a mental freshener. And then now it's time to do all of the clingy work, like all of the because we have to do work, like making sure that we we send out the task to our teammates, and do everything. So I believe like the first waking hours I just focus on what I love, which is like creating content, like either it could be short form, long form, talking with my clients, or doing this, like doing podcasts like this. And then the rest of the day is just like admin task. I know I know I can automate a lot of admin tasks by hiring a manager, but the problem is I don't want to just hire a lot of different people, and I don't know what is going on in my company. So I just want to make sure that I can reach to my employees or my teammates as a first, like direct reports. I can help them what problem they are facing for, and what our company vision is. Because if you don't have a vision, or if you don't have a like a core principle of your company set right with your employees, you're not going to get so far. So yeah, so we have a lot of different teams working with different departments, and it's just like getting the direct reports, sending out the tasks that we are going to look after in this month. And then the rest of the day I'm just learning. So right now I'm learning about content creation. And you might say like I have 100k following on Instagram, but to be honest, the more I learn about content, how to create, like how to understand the human psychology, how to create different hooks, how to have a proper CTA, the more I learn, the less I know. The more I learn, the less I know,
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah, so that's the paradox of learning.
Yeah, I can't remember. There's a specific terminology for that as well. It's like the more you learn about a subject,
Yeah, the less you
the
know.
less you realize you actually know. I can't remember what the phrase is, but I
Yeah.
was talking to someone about this recently, and we were just talking beforehand that you were attending a webinar about how Mr. Beast actually does
Yeah.
his hooks and titles and thumbnails. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, Mr. Beast is like one of my biggest inspiration. I always look after to him. I want to be a Mr. Beast, but in our tech area, I just want to be the best creator in the world that understands the human psychology, that do all the A/B split testing, or as many efforts as I can. I'm just reinvesting all the money I make into the business, expanding it with different social media platform. So one of the things Mr. Beast is like the YouTube legend, and he talks a lot about split testing with different thumbnails, right? So he divide his thumbnail into macro and micro. So what does macro and micro means? So macro means you are creating thumbnails with different angle, with different design, and with different style. So you have these three thumbnails, you will find the winning one, and then you will change the micro. So talking about the micro, it's changing like the shirt image. It's changing like if they are talking about a car, like making it gold, making it in red color, having Ferrari, Lamborghini. So first of all, you need to understand what is the micro that is working. So the style format, pick the winning style, then changes the macro. So I implemented the same thing with our short form Instagram Reels. So what we are doing here is we are creating different hooks. So let's say we have a topic talking about AI workflow. But the thing is you have to deliver on the hook. The hook should be like really good, otherwise people don't care even if you cure cancer. Like they will just scroll down. So we have to make sure that the hook is really good, the hook is winning format. So now how do you test your hook? How do you make sure that this is the best hook for your particular reel? So Instagram has released this new feature of trial reels, so where you can try with your different short form content and see what is the winning one. So what we do is we create 5 different hooks for only one video. So I know it's kind of a lot of work in the beginning, but the results are very exponential. The ROI is like exponential. So we will create 5 different hooks. If you don't know what is hook is the like the first 3 or 5 seconds where you get your audience attention, and then they will watch the rest of the reel. So we will create 5 different hooks, pick out the winning one with the most number of likes, most number of share and comments, and then that winning reel will actually go into my Instagram. So it's not like I just got lucky. We are doing all of this A/B split testing or back testing, picking out the winning reel and then making it live to my main page. We are doing the same thing with Facebook ads. So we are running our reels on different, like all of these 5 reels. We will pick the winning one. You will eventually see. Like the thing is, like you will sometimes you might find you personally love that hook, but that hook does not resonate with your audience, and the hook you don't like will have exponential number of likes and comments. Yeah, so that's why like split testing your hooks before making it live into the production or into your profile is like really important. And that's where the edge is right now. A lot of people don't want to invest so much amount of efforts, energy into short form content. And but yeah, that's the reason like why I grew so much faster, because again it's just like winning and winning topic again and again on my profile.
Yeah, I've got to commend your workflow here and just I guess your attention with it as well. It's very much the Hormozy model of doing things, right? It's
Yeah,
just
share
swathes
more.
and swathes of content, sheer volume exactly, right? And with that it takes time and effort to dial in that system and to get it right. So I'm glad that's one piece of the puzzle you've got solved. Another piece that I want to touch on is something for the audio only listers. I'm looking at
Mm.
Manthan on video just now, and I realize that you've got your T-shirt here that says "Lead Gen Man." So talk to me about branding and the importance of branding right now.
Let's take the famous example of 100 million money model by Alex Hermosi. So just 2 days ago, he had this big webinar where he made $150 million just on this simple webinar or a book launch. See, that wouldn't be possible if he didn't have his personal brand. If he is not creating content and across all the different channels, he wouldn't be able to get this successful amount of conversion. He's still that smart. He would be still a B2B guy running gym launch and everything. But because he has the personal brand, he's able to generate $150 million within just matter of 3 hours. That's insane amount of money as compared to the time and effort he put. So I believe like personal branding is everything. Now like talking to my example, we don't run any outbound campaigns for our agency. Like the number of leads inflow is like immense. like so yeah, even if you have a good personal brand, I believe like you will never have to hunt for leads. People will actually come to you, and you have to make sure that you are present on every different social media platform. For example, some people really like short form content, so you have to be on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube shorts. Some people really like to read, like a text post, so it can be a LinkedIn, it can be a newsletter or Twitter or X post. Plus if you want to have if you want some people really like long form content, so go to YouTube, go to courses and everything. So because see, let's say I'm a TikTok guy and you're not posting on TikTok, you don't exist in my world. Sorry, Liam, but you don't. You might be having a million following on LinkedIn, but you don't exist in my world, and I will never know about you. That's why making sure that, and in you, it's not about doing more efforts. It's just like repurposing the content. For this example, we have a long form podcast. You will clip it into short form. You will post it out on LinkedIn, Twitter. Yeah, it's just like setting up the perfect system and flows, and then you will be good to go, and you will have a like personal and perfect solid personal brand that will make sure that you will get clients, like as many clients as you want.
Yeah, and this fits into part of a larger discussion. A few of the people that I've had on the podcast recently have been SEO experts, right?
Yeah,
And
Eric.
SEO is one of these things that's changing massively right now. So Whereas you used to be able to just post an article on Google or
Mm.
Instagram and like search engines would be able to find you and you would get enough traffic. That landscape has changed massively because the way people search for information is no
Mm.
longer just Googling things. They're using Perplexity, they're using ChatGPT, they're using Claude, and that's going to continue to increase. And what these engines look for is they look for like a breadth of experience. They want to grab as many kind of reputable sources as possible to give you one succinct answer, which
Mm.
means you need to be in as many places as possible. And they call that kind of search everywhere optimization. That's the kind of going term right now. So you make a good point. It's not impossible to do as well. Given the tools that we've got, if you produce one piece of long form content and you spend enough time making the right systems for that, that can make 400 pieces of short form content through blogs, through LinkedIn posts, through Instagram reels, through stills, through pictures. Like, for example, when we finish this podcast right now, after about 5 minutes, once it processes, Riverside, my recording studio, gives me 10 shorts to use like
Damn.
that. So it's just a case of kind of connecting the right things here and there, and that's why people hire an expert like you. And we're happy that things like MCP protocol exist as well now. It makes
Yeah.
these sorts of things a lot easier, right?
100%. You can just ask your Claude, hey, give me the best performing script. This is my YouTube video. It will write you for your newsletter, for your X post, for your LinkedIn. Yeah, that's really great. And I believe like a lot of these brands and companies should hire an AI automation expert. So just like to audit the entire business internally, like where the things that they can actually use automation. So the other day that we were talking about like what's the difference between a developer hiring a developer versus hiring an AI automation expert. See, the developer won't do anything on his own. We will tell him to do this thing and he will do it. But on the other side, AI automation expert, he will tell us what we need to do. Yeah, you can understand the difference. So the developer is not going to use his brain to make sure that we are running our business efficiently. But the AI expert strategies, or like this is a new buzzword. Like I have seen one LinkedIn post. Zapier CEO was like publicly shouting, "Hey, we are hiring for an AI automation expert where we will place you into these brands and companies, and your job is to just tell them where they can automate this repetitive task in each of these departments." Because there was like this very I don't know, that company was, I'm not going to say the name of the company, but that company had 500 employees and their HR is manually sending them a birthday. So whenever some employee has a birthday, that person will log into the Google sheet and will manually send them email. Like, come on, like we are living in 2025. Like even like one simple anytime workflow can solve this problem for free and like free up that HR for this admin task. But I believe like there is a huge gap in adaptation of AI. See, the problem is uh, people like us who are like entrepreneur people who are developer will adapt with AI so much fast, but it's not happening with, let's say, other departments, sales, HR. Like these kinds of people will still do manual repetitive tasks, and that's why hiring this AI automation expert is a key thing, where they will just have an audit of your entire brand or a business, and they will help you. Hey, this is a thing that can be automated, and instead of hiring 10 people, you now have only 3 people, and all of these AI workflows and agents are running the rest of this admin task. I'm just sharing you this dumb example where I actually saw an HR manually sending out birthday emails to their employees. Like, man, come on, like use something, use AI.
I know. I think people would be surprised as well. Like, as we've developed the company, we've had more and more experience with really large, like legacy firms in the US, UK, Canada, Australia, right? And I think people have this perception, or they have this misperception, right? Because they see content like yours, they see content like mine, they see YouTube channels, they see the Greg Eisenbergs, they see the
Yeah.
automation experts, and they assume, all right, everyone's implementing AI and everyone's using it and everyone's way beyond it. And then you actually go and speak to a company that's got 3,000 employees across the world. You're like, are you using AI? And they're like, we barely know how Copilot works, right? There's like a clear separation there. So all that to say is there's a ton of opportunity going forward. I'm assuming you get this a lot from friends. You probably get this a lot from family, a lot from
Mm.
personal connections where people come up and they ask you, Manthan, how do I get into AI? How do I get into the industry? I see you being successful. So when those people come and ask that question, like, what do you say to them? What's your advice for someone that's maybe not in AI right now, but wants to work in it as an entrepreneur?
100%. So the thing is, the biggest myth right now in the industry is people need to be having a technical background to use AI, but that's not the reality anymore. Like, even if you're coming from non-technical background, you can still understand AI and actually use it inside your business. And when one of my buddies or one of my relatives is coming to me on how they can use AI, first of all, I'm just trying to say them, hey, what are the repetitive tasks that you're doing inside your. So like so one of my relative is in a radio channel, and their job is to make sure that whenever the script goes out before into the production or before to the radio, the script should be according to the radio system brand guidelines. So that's what, and they have like entire team of 20 people for that. But they can reduce the team to, let's say, 5 people, and have like a simple agentic workflow that makes sure that they check the script or the voiceover that going to in production, uh, like meeting with the brand guidelines. It's that simple. So whatever I'm trying to say to them is, just make sure that you understand your business, and sorry, just make sure that you understand where the repetitive tasks are, and are they can be automated with AI. So that's what my advice would be.
I have absolutely loved this discussion. I've had a great time. And I want to finish off with a question that I ask all of my guests.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you a question. I'm not going to give you any more context. And you just make what you will of it, okay? Because everyone answers in a different way.
Okay, love it.
Manthan Patel, why do you do what you do?
Yeah. uh, I believe, like, whenever we are giving out so much value to the audience or so much value to anyone, like as you mentioned, the karma will always give us back 2x or 20x more. So just giving out like literally everything you are running at your back end, showing them, hey, it's possible for other people to do. Because I'm coming from a third world country, India, where people have a lot of limiting belief on they cannot accomplish this thing. Like and I want to be the one that shows them, hey, everyone can do it. It's not limited to you, it's not limited to your race, culture, or yeah. And that's why, like, I just want to be a north star to these peoples, where everything is, you can do everything. And that's what my entire message to my audience is, hey, just adopt this thing as fast as possible, because people who are using AI right now are not getting multiplier of 2x 3x, they are getting multiplier of 20x 30x. And you will be way ahead of your competitor if you are adapting with this. Even just using chat gpt for your repetitive tasks, just go to chat gpt, just ask, hey, this is the thing that I do, where can you help me? And you will be surprised. Yeah.
Manthan, that's a beautiful thing to finish on. And I appreciate you sharing that with me.
Appreciate that.
To finish off, if people want to learn more about you, what you do, who you are, how do they go about getting in contact with you?
Awesome. You can just go to Google and search for Lead Gen Man. That's my website. If you are more on short form content, just again search for Lead Gen Man on Instagram, TikTok, and you will be able to see all of my content. Same goes for LinkedIn. Just search for Manthan Patel, and I will be there.
Awesome. Manthan, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate that.